All right, Steve, we ran across this article on automation. And the nice thing about this article is that we found automation being demonstrated more embedded with current manufacturing equipment. And I thought that was a really good take on where automation sits today. What was your take on the article?
I loved this article for multiple reasons. Number one, it's hyping up IMTS.
Sure.
And it's written to be kind of like a tour guide of IMTS and how to go through IMTS, finding automation everywhere.
Right.
And I think I understand what the initial purpose of this article was, like the initial need for it from like higher ups, whoever they are, wherever they are. It was like, there's no automation. I'm sure they've heard people have said things like, there's no automation pavilion at IMTS.
Sure.
But people who know IMTS, people who work IMTS, people who've been to IMTS multiple times know that there's definitely automation at IMTS. And if you know this industry at all, you know that automation can be found everywhere in everything because it's necessary for this industry. Sure. It's kind of like an unsung hero of industrial revolutions. You know, when the assembly line came about, shortly after that was automation. It's not highlighted because, you know, Ford has more money. But it can be found everywhere. And that I feel like that was the point. But as a tour guide, like I really liked the first subtitle, which was "Automation Starts with the Part."
Okay.
And I know you and I started at AMT around the same time. And when Paul Warndorf was here, the grandfather of MT Connect and Industry 4.0 as a whole, probably, Paul said something revolutionary that I still couldn't wrap my head around. Well, I couldn't at the time, and Russ had to help explain things to me. Paul said, you know, when we were going from, I think when we started, it was either MT Connect was on version 1.2 or 1.3.
Sure.
And Paul said something provocative that was like, by version 1.6, MT Connect, the data coming from MT Connect, the data with stream provided by MT Connect needs to be focused on the part and no longer the devices or the machine tools.
That's fascinating.
And that's that first subtitle of the article is automation starts with the part.
Right.
And it's automation isn't a particular process based, and it's not in a particular pavilion of IMTS. It's not its own pavilion at IMTS because it is involved with everything.
That's right.
I've been saying this for years that automation is a foundational technology. It's not a transformative technology. It's special. It's more important than a transformative technology. It is a foundational technology. And it's foundational for the future of where the industry is going to go. It is in everything. It's in metal removal. It's in quality assurance. It's in...
it's getting into additive.
Oh my God, is it getting into that? It's actually, yeah. No, it's really into additive. There's more end-of-arm tooling that has an extrusion head on it than there is an end mill. That's for different reasons. But once we start trying to get automation, like robot arms, doing more than just additive and trying to do hybrid, hybrid programs and operations, then that will improve the automation industry because then we'll start going for more accuracy and the builders will be pressured to meet higher performance standards. Not that they're not high already, but the next subtitle, you need robots, we got robots. I still remember like IMTS 2018, just going to the student summit. Mm-hmm. You walk into the student summit and there's a FANUC arm on the floor holding up swag bags for students to come in and grab a bag. And it's like, that's a $70,000 coat hanger.
Just hanging around.
Not even plugged in. What an investment.
And I do like how the article kind of tells the story of how embedded automation is. It's not a standalone process, right? So there are independent use cases where you're conveying from one side of the factory to the other, but within discrete manufacturing, material handling is still super important to help automate. And I like the fact that also at IMTS, they're going to be demonstrating this as use cases.
Absolutely.
So if you're unsure or if you're not 100% sure of how automation sits in your factory, seeing it in with the OEMs as with the subtractive or the other processes gives you inspiration for use cases right away. So you can start thinking about what is the business value to you, and you can make decisions very quickly from there.
I mean, I'm not going to try to name names. I should, because there are members. A lot of them are our members.
Sure.
But you're starting to see a trend in a lot of machine tool builders, like we're talking machining center manufacturers,
Right.
trying on their websites, selling their machine tools, having partnered with a robotics company and selling them as a package.
Yeah.
You can't miss it. Every machine tool builder is like, you could buy the machine by itself, or you could buy this package
Right.
for a little bit more scratch,
Yep.
and it comes with this robot from this manufacturer. And it's wild, because there's one case that I want to, that's in the top of my head.
Sure.
That's like, that robot's going to outlast that machine tool. That's a disposable machine tool, and that robot is like the top of the line robot.
Right.
I feel like they're going for, we think we can, that machine tool builders, like, we can sell more machine tools if we package it with a robot, because they know if they'll probably want to buy the robot and get the deal on the robot, and it comes with a machine tool that they'll use for 4 years, and then it'll be trashed.
Yeah, that's a fair point. If you're looking at buying some piece of subtractive, having it packaged with a robot right away, and there's a lot of benefits to that. I've seen a lot of controllers that allow for, obviously you can control the CNC, but the controller also can manage the robot, so it works as a cell controller all in one shot in one place. So yeah, I definitely see a lot of benefits of kind of packaging these scenarios together, and it's a lot of ease in implementation, which I think automation has had that struggle with, is how the barrier for acceptance has been a little high for both cost and talent-wise, and I think packaging these technologies together kind of lowers that.
And I really like how, a couple of years ago, the term solution was really like a salesy term.
Right.
Was a salesperson term. It's like, we don't sell products. We sell solutions. But these days, the term solution in this industry is almost becoming synonymous with a sell.
Right.
Like, a machine tool is not a solution on its own. I mean, it can be.
Sure.
But a cell can be pivoted easier than a standalone machine tool and bar feeder.
Yep.
You have a bar feeder, that's a device on its own. A multi-axis CNC machine, that's a machine tool on its own. Then a robot arm, whether collaborative or industrial, all together doing the same operation, being programmed in unison with a software package that allows them to communicate together, allows the robot to implement another machine tool, a CMM.
Right.
And it's entirely closed loop. And then a software company comes in, and it's like, hey, you can program all 4 of these devices on just this one piece of software.
Right.
That's a solution.
That's fair.
It's not just a machine tool cell at that point, or manufacturing cell. Now we're talking actual solutions.
Cool. I'm excited for this, Steve. I'm looking forward to see some of the examples down over there. Great article.
Thanks, Ben.